The Jets head coach, Aaron Glenn, has benched Justin Fields for the second time this year. So, where do we go from here as Jets fans? How should we remember the Justin Fields era? Well, I know for me personally, I'm someone who was never high on Justin Fields. When they picked him up, when they got rid of Aaron Rodgers, when they signed him to a 2-year, $40 million deal with $30 million guaranteed, I was not happy. There were a lot of fans that turned around and were like, hey, he did well on the Steelers. He's still talented. There's a lot left. But I was never a person that saw Justin Fields as a viable option, even coming out of college. And I saw what he did in Chicago, and he was terrible there. Now, people can say they were also terrible, but if you're a talented player, you at least show consistent signs of growth, improvement, and you elevate others around you. Justin Fields never did that. He went over to Pittsburgh. He played at a 4-2 level football and was replaced for an over the hill Russell Wilson. Now, many people will say, well, it's because they paid Russell Wilson all of this money. But it does not matter in the NFL. It really doesn't. I know when you pay someone, you want them to come play, blah, blah, blah. But if you're winning games, that's all that matters. And if Justin Fields was really playing that well, and they believed that he was going to be the answer the rest of the way, that he can keep that 4-2 level of play up, they would have never have went to Russell Wilson. So then from there, the Jets come in, they let go of her. You do what you want to do. But then they bring in Justin Fields. And I just never saw the logic. I still see people out there that go, well, you can understand why they brought him in. The talent's there. And I look at it and I go, where though? Where is the talent? Are you talking physical gifts? Sure. He's a great athlete. One of the fastest guys in the field, big, strong. You talking arm talent? Yeah, he's got a good arm. He can sling the ball anywhere. He can make any throw. But the difference with a quarterback out of every other position in the NFL is he's got to have it up here. You got to be able to have that game slow down for you. And I get it. When you're young, when he was a rookie in Chicago, the game is fast. It's so much faster than it is in college. And you're getting the NFL playbook started. If anyone's ever heard an NFL play, it's a different language. It's a language. It's a full language that you have to learn, which is why the journeyman quarterback that starts on many teams is ridiculous, right? But you have to learn that full language, comprehend it, understand what every single other player on that offense is supposed to be doing on every single play, know the audibles, know the checks. There is so much to know. The quarterback position is so tough because of that. So you can have all the physical gifts in the world. But if you don't have it between the head, number one, to learn the playbook, which I don't think Justin Fields is dumb. I don't think he doesn't know. I do think that he knows, but I don't think he's confident in his ability as a passer. Because one of the things that you see with all of the best quarterbacks, even the great young ones, right? They will go and they will make the pre-snap read and they will try to adjust the offense, not even changing the play, but maybe adjusting the blocking, bringing a guy in motion to do something so I could see what the coverage is and things like that. And it's obviously a chess match, right? The defense is trying to mask what they are going to do to try and disrupt the play as much as the offense is trying to figure out what the defense does before that play starts. That's what the quarterback is supposed to do. The play caller can call the play that he believes is best, in that situation that will be successful against whatever defense they call. But the quarterback on the field is supposed to see the pre-snap, look at the positioning, look at the formation of the defense, and then have a concept of exactly where the way that play is going to go, and then make necessary adjustments. When I see Justin Fields, I don't see those adjustments. Yes, he occasionally comes to the line and makes a call, but I think all those are planned and scheduled. I think those are directly called in as, hey, we're going to call this play. If you see this, go to this. I think it's very specific. Where you have a player last year like Aaron Rodgers, where he spent most of his time down to the wire of every play, basically adjusting that offense to get it into the best position possible that he thought was going to win on that down. Is it always successful? Does it always work? Is the quarterback always right? No. That's why the defense is a bunch of professionals. That's why they get paid as well to be disruptive. But you need to have a quarterback back there that is going to try and play that chess match and not just run the play as called every single time. And when you go to people like Justin Fields or with the way Zach Wilson was before, I said early on, and it's been said now by other Jets people that are on X and stuff like that. When I saw Justin Fields, he was Zach Wilson that was very mobile, Zach Wilson that could run. He had all the arm strength. He, could do it all, but the game just never slowed down. He didn't have it here. And we see that. The biggest criticism against Justin Fields was that he was always late on every throw. And it's true here. He's late on every throw, even the wide open ones. And one of the things that that an NFL quarterback needs to do is be able to throw his players open. And that goes with the anticipation. That also goes with the confidence of knowing what you're looking at with the defense and knowing that with the route scheme on this play, if they do this, then that route's going to be open and I can throw it before they're open because I know it's going to happen. With Justin Fields, you see often he is fully waiting to confirm that the player is open. And a lot of times, what that leads to is a pass breakup, or the player might catch the ball, but he has to catch it in an awkward situation and he's not able to maximize and get more yardage, which again is massive, right? So, all these things come into play, and it's how should we remember Justin Fields? That's what I come back to. The first question. So, as Jets fans, what we should remember about Justin Fields in terms of my eyes is he's a guy that came to work. He didn't cause any problems, didn't cause any controversies with the person that he was. I thought he handled himself at press conferences very well. I appreciate a ton that he has so much faith in God and that he's not afraid to preach his faith in God. And I absolutely can root for the man, Justin Fields, the young man, Justin Fields, that I believe may have a future as a coach. Because, like I said, I don't believe that he is not smart enough to understand NFL plays. They wouldn't put him as a starter necessarily if he couldn't at least comprehend the playbook, right? And at least when he's out in front of the coaches, sitting in a classroom, understand the concepts and, regurgitate it back, right? But I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. And I've said this from the get go. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. I don't even think he's a viable starter because even your viable starters, we're going to watch Tyrod Taylor play football in the upcoming weeks with the Jets. Tyrod Taylor is a viable backup because he is someone that, like I said, he's not as adept as the best play callers, the best quarterbacks at diagnosing pre-play and putting his teams in the best options. But you'll see Tyrod make a ton of adjustments and they're not always great. He's a backup for a reason. He's not a starter for a reason. But he will make the Jets offense at least look like a professional offense from the most part. He will allow the offensive coordinator to open up the playbook and call every play. Where with Justin Fields, they were very limited. There was a lot of running. They couldn't throw the ball very much. I mean, it was a struggle to watch this team not play an NFL offense yet again. And I'm happy that they finally made the switch to Tyrod Taylor. I feel bad for Justin Fields because, like I said, Justin Fields, the man, seems like a very, very, very nice young man and a very well put together young man that has a bright future in doing something else besides playing football. Now, I've said it tongue in cheek before, but once Justin Fields is fully demoted, I feel like they should bring Brady Cook up and he should be the backup. Brady Cook should be the backup in case Tyrell goes down, and Brady Cook should come play because we've seen what Justin Fields brings, right? But I also think Justin Fields needs to switch his position. I truly believe that if Justin Fields can catch a football, he will be a deadly, deadly wide receiver. I think he has all the physical traits. He's fast as hell. He's big. If he can catch a football, we then have the Jets have a great wide receiver on our hands. I do firmly believe that. That's not tongue in cheek. That's not making fun of Justin Fields. But for me, the best way to remember Justin Fields is he was a young man that I don't believe ever should have been brought in. The best you can believe that he's someone that would have been an experiment to hope that we can eventually achieve that success that we've seen Sam Darnold have, that we've seen Geno Smith have, that we've seen Baker Mayfield have. These late bloomers that when they get in good situations can become viable, good quarterbacks, league leaders in terms of Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. But Justin Fields doesn't have that. So at best, he was an experiment. I thought he was someone that never should have been brought in. He's a very expensive experiment. He's a failed experiment, but he is also someone that came in, came to work every day, said the right things, and he's not someone that we should disparage as a person. We can criticize his play. We can say he's not a good quarterback. That's easy to say he's not a good NFL quarterback. But I don't think we should disparage Justin Fields, the person. He's never given us a reason to, been upstanding, has handled this with grace, has never talked bad about the team or Coach Glenn or anything like that. So that's a way that I will eventually remember Justin Fields' tenure as a New York Jet, as it's inevitably about to come to a close. I don't even know if they bring him back next year. I don't know what's the point. I know there's going to be a lot of dead cap money if they cut him, but maybe you can try and find a seventh round pick for him, maybe, and send him somewhere and eat part of the contract while you give away some. I don't know. But again, I'll remember Justin Fields' tenure as someone who tried his best and just wasn't good enough. So, Jets fans, we're in for it again. Tyrod Taylor's going to be better, not going to win many games. We're going to eventually see Brady Cook. He's going to come in. We're going to hope to see some rookies, um, spark. He's also not going to be very good. And then we're going to see what we have in the draft. Me personally, if we're looking ahead, because the Jets are going to have more than likely have a top 5 pick, right? Especially with no Garrett Wilson there. We're going to see what the rest of the year does, but we're probably going to have a top 5 pick. If I'm Daryl Moogie, I don't know how to say your last name, but if I'm our GM, first thing I'm doing is getting on the phone with teams like Cincinnati, with teams like the Los Angeles Chargers, with teams that have some of these young quarterbacks that haven't been able to get over the hump with their teams. That, Joe Burrow's injury prone. I'm scared of that. All right. I don't know if I'd want to give up a lot to the Bengals to trade for Joe Burrow. And I know it's been circulating around. I don't think the Bengals are interested. But the team that I believe that the Jets could have the best conversation with is the Chargers. Yes, they paid Justin Herbert a bunch of money. Do I think that they believe in him? Yes, I do. But I also think that they see the same things we see around the league. That Justin Herbert on the Chargers, whatever reason, they're not getting it done. They're playing good football, but I think they fully believe that Herbert is capable of taking him to a Super Bowl, and they just haven't gotten there. I would call them and say, hey, what do you feel about some of these college quarterbacks? Are you interested in any of them? Are you potentially thinking about a future beyond Herbert? And if it's even we haven't thought of that yet, you push and you offer them a first round this year and one of the first from next year. 2 firsts for Justin Herbert, high in this draft where they can get their future quarterback, and then one next year, I think could be very convincing. I really do. I think that that they would have a chance of grabbing him. But here, I'm just a guy that talks on the internet. So we'll see what the future holds. The Jets are a train wreck as always. But in the end, I will not disparage Justin Fields outside of his play. I hope that no other fan does. But the experiment's over. He should have never been a Jet in the first place. And now it's going to cost us a lot of money. And this is absolutely a black eye on Aaron Glenn and Daryl Moogie's tenure starting off with the Jets. So I appreciate everyone that watched this video. If you made it this long, thank you very much. Make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe, and make sure you support, leave a comment. I'd appreciate that as well. And come back on Wednesday nights for the live stream. Every Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. You will watch me and my brother interview people every once in a while. You'll watch me react to some YouTube videos that David sends me to torture me because he hates me. But please make sure you do that. You can see those on YouTube, Rumble, X, Facebook, Kick. They are all there. And then if you like this video, make sure that you definitely subscribe to the YouTube and the Rumble because that's where you'll find more videos like this and clips. So I absolutely appreciate everybody for watching. I will check in with everyone later. Have a good one, y'all.